Special shout out to our good friend Mark. He's still not feeling well, so we just hope that he's going to get better soon. Mark, if you will.
Here's to you, buddy.
Mark, we know you're listening to us right now, man. We miss you, bud, and
we do.
And hopefully you'll come back soon, man.
Oh, yeah, he's a trooper. He can handle it.
Yep, but we got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, especially with Fastlane happening. Is that plugged in right there?
No, we don't have an extension cord yet.
Okay, this laptop only has so much power. We got a lot to talk about when it pertains to Fastlane and everything that happened over there, and plus the backstage confrontation that happened Tuesday night with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, and will that lead to anything coming into WrestleMania? But before we get into all that and open up the phone lines, it's time to check out what's made the headlines this week in wrestling. And speaking of Fastlane, you know, there's been a lot of fans who have been rather negative about that whole thing with Goldberg squashing Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. However, there's one person who called it masterful, and that person is Eric Bischoff. On a recent podcast, this is what he had to say about it. He says, quote, "You know, I get it. To be honest, I understand that within the internet wrestling community, there is this perceived knowledge of what happens when you put people over in a certain way, or you bury people in a certain way. They think they have a basic understanding or a complex understanding in many cases of what really works. But guess what? Kevin Owens is a great talent. End of conversation."
Really?
When you take a great talent like Kevin Owens, who was a phenomenal story, by the way, a tremendous amount of television time, creative resources, and other talent putting him over, The Rock put him over for crying out loud, but not in a match. But still, look at all the resources that have gone into building up Kevin Owens. If anybody thinks that one moment on that one pay-per-view is the end of his career, it's just a reflection of what they don't know about the entertainment business or the wrestling business. WWE will be able to resurrect Kevin Owens based in no small part on the reaction of the broken internet wrestling community, because they want him. That's the key. The audience wants him to succeed. In that regard, I think the WWE's decision was masterful. It may be a little bit aggressive, but guess what? Everybody is talking about how much they despise the way Kevin Owens was treated. Guess what happens the next time Kevin Owens starts to make his way up the ladder, creatively speaking? He's going to have a whole bunch of people rallying around him. Take a chill pill, watch it, enjoy the journey. Stop analyzing this stuff. It's nut. And you know what? I have to agree with Eric Bischoff, because that's kind of the mindset of the way the internet wrestling community works. When they start having an opinion, the majority of them stick with that opinion, and when the wrestling industry doesn't go the way they want it to go, that's when they start getting all pissed off and everything like that.
And been out of shape, right?
Well, what are your thoughts about what he said?
Well, I mean, I think Kevin Owens is going to be one of the WWE's great heels, and he's done a great job so far. He's the longest reigning Universal Champion, but I think it's okay. It's a good idea what they did with Goldberg, in that they needed a big main event for WrestleMania, and put some prestige under the Universal title.
What's up to Code Lions, who is the host of Code of Honor on twitch.tv/Code Lions, and also what's up to eFanga80. Welcome in the Twitch chat room. Let me quickly, I know we got some people watching in the YouTube chat. Let me bring up the YouTube chat just right here to give everyone a what's up. And also the super chat is also up on YouTube. So if you want to donate to the show and have your chat read where everybody can see it, you can do it in a super chat. It all depends on how long and how much you guys are willing to put in there. And we got Best in the World. I'm friends with him on a Discord channel that I'm a part of, as well as a good friend, Mark Smith. What's up, guys? If you guys want to put in your comments to anything we're talking about, we'll read them out loud on here. And we got another story to talk about, and pertains to Beth Phoenix, or rather her husband, Edge. Yeah, he recently posted to Facebook about his wife being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, and this is what he had to say. In salute of International Women's Day, I thought it was time to talk about a 2017 WWE Hall of Fame inductee, but more specifically, my wife, Beth Copeland, a.k.a. the Glamazon, a.k.a. the Glamamom, a.k.a. Beth Phoenix. That's a lot of handles.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm biased and extremely proud of Beth, but after she expressed doubt as to whether she would go into the Hall of Fame so quickly, I looked at her resume. I stepped out of the husband's shoes and looked at her question and came to the conclusion that, hell yeah, she should be. Who cares what year it happens? If you have a Hall of Fame resume, you deserve to go in, plain and simple. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but that's mine, and since I'm a Hall of Famer myself, my opinion is more important. I kid. This is Beth Phoenix's credentials, and I think after you guys hear this, you would agree. First women's ladder match in history versus Katie Lee Burcham. First women's table match in history with Natalia against Lakehool. First women's I Quit match versus Melina. Second woman to ever enter the Royal Rumble and eliminate the Great Khali. We all remember how that happens, the lip lock of doom. Three-time WWE Women's Champion, one-time Divas Champion, third most female pay-per-view appearances with 38, one behind Trish Stratus and Natalia at 39.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah, it's a very impressive resume, and there's a reason, and this is continuing, there's a reason she was put into those positions. She was damn good at her job. I've always felt, even before we were an item, that Beth was a wrestler, plain and simple. She could wrestle. In a time when female physical strength was not in vogue, she still stuck to her guns. Get it? In the days of Diva Searches, no offense, Diva Search contestants, Beth was a throwback. She joined her high school wrestling team, the first woman to do so at her school, and broke down barriers, all with the goal of making it to the WWE after seeing Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. She was and is a true fan of the industry, which sadly can be a rarity within the industry. She left a good, safe job to hop in her Geo Prism and drive to Louisville, Kentucky to try and get into OVW. At that time, that was WWE's farm system. And after being told for years by higher-ups in WWE talent relations that she wasn't what they were looking for, which was the next Trish Stratus, and waitressing in Perkins to make ends meet, she continued showing up. Finally, she was hired and eventually made it to Monday Night Raw, and in her first match, broke her jaw and finished the match. Not deterred, she came back with an idea and a different attitude, and thus the Glamazon was born. I have to agree, those are definitely Hall of Fame credentials right there.
I agree.
What are your thoughts about what Beth Phoenix has done in her career? Why are you chewing that gum?
Well, yeah, like Mr. Perfect. Oh, shit.
Well, not so much.
Yeah, Mr. Imperfect. Sheesh. Yeah, Beth Phoenix was the Glamazon. She did a lot of things for women wrestling, and she's one of those like female bodybuilder type that is believable in the ring. You know, that she could really kick some ass in real life. You know.
Yep, Colines in the Twitch chat says, "Boy, Impact Wrestling almost killed me. It was awful." I'll explain that in just a minute as I acknowledge a couple of more chat room comments.
We all love TNA.
Well, remember, it's not TNA anymore. It's Impact Wrestling. Joker, what's up to Joker's Nightmare TV in the YouTube chat? It says exactly was to create prestige for the Universal Championship. Back to the whole Kevin Owens Goldberg thing. Best in the World says Kevin Owens losing was a great choice. Brock is going to beat Goldberg at WrestleMania 33 for that title, and then Roman wins it at SummerSlam. I hope not. Mark says, Beth Phoenix was a good choice, and so does Best in the World. Beth entering was another good choice for the Hall of Fame. She deserves it. Joker's Nightmare TV says, dun, 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 dun.
But what about, hello, ladies? Wait, not,
well, that's Val Venus.
That's Val Venus, but hold on.
Well, he's the originator of it.
What did he say to start off his little...
What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, inner-city sweat hogs, shut your mouths and
while I pose
while I take
ladies.
my robe off and show the ladies what a real sexy why am I saying this on TV? Why am I saying this on TV? And Joker's Nightmare TV also says Beth is a great choice for Hall of Fame. Jacob, if we can get an extension, that would be nice. I gotta
just ask Jacob for an extension.
Yeah, an extension cord.
Okay.
So
Fast lane.
Well, hold on. We got 4 birthdays that happened this past Tuesday.
4 birthdays. Wait, this past Tuesday, that was the 6th?
I believe so.
Or 7th, maybe?
Yeah, first off, it was the United Kingdom champion, Tyler Bate. He turned 20 years old.
Okay.
Do you remember Major Guns in WCW when she was she was the lady with the giant gazongas in the Misfits in Action, blonde hair. She was also known as Barbara Bush in the World Wrestling Federation around 2000. She was the big one with that went through the table. from the Dudley Boys. If you guys know who I'm talking about, it was her birthday as well as Bruce Pritchard. Brother Love. He turned 54 years old, and a WCW guy by the name of Sergeant Craig Pitbull Pittman turned 58 years old on Tuesday. But before we go any further, I would be remiss to not say they're all. Will you leave me alone about the Rick Rude thing in the chat, please?
Let's hear some of the comments.
Joker's Nightmare.
Billy the Rick Rude.
Billy with the Rick Rude. Oh, man. And, happy birthday to Best in the World. Apparently, today was his birthday, so happy birthday to...
Best in the World.
Yeah, so happy birthday to you.
CM Punk?
Well, not CM Punk.
Obviously not, but a CM Punk fan.
Yep. But what I mean is, we have lost another wrestling legend this week.
Oh.
Yeah, in the form of
like every week.
Yeah, on the Outlaw Ron Bass. He passed away at the age of 68. WWE released the following statement, quote, WWE is saddened to learn that Ronald Hurd, known to sports entertainment fans as Outlaw Ron Bass, has passed away at the age of 68. Debuting in 1975, the Tough Texan performed in several NWA territories, including Jim Crockett Promotions and Florida Championship Wrestling. It was in 1987 that Bass rose to national fame in WWE. With his ruthless attitude and dreaded bullwhip, Bass battled against classic fan favorites like Junkyard Dog and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He even claimed a pinfall victory over a very young Shawn Michaels in the 1988 King of the Ring tournament.
Wow.
So our condolences definitely go out to Ron Bass's family and friends at this time. I definitely remember him when I was watching it as a kid, especially the feud he had with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I remember it stemmed from Brutus putting him to sleep, and after Brutus did that, his trademark was always to cut the loser's hair.
With the hedge clippers.
Yeah, and he did that to Ron Bass, and then it ignited a feud with them. And I believe Brutus the Barber Beefcake was supposed to challenge in SummerSlam of 1988. He was supposed to challenge the Honky Tonk Man, but then they had him taken out.
He was injured, right?
It was because of Ron Bass. So
and then we got the rise of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep. A couple of last things I want to talk about before we go to Fastlane. It pertains to Impact Wrestling. A fan on Twitter recently asked Matt Hardy about the crowning of new tag team champions in Impact Wrestling, and the Broken One responded with this on Twitter, quote, maybe some children's replicas. We are in possession of the TNA tag titles and have never been beat for them.
Never.
You'll learn of their fate soon. So in essence, the Hardys are no longer contractually obligated to TNA, but they're not giving up the TNA tag team titles.
Okay.
So how can they legally hold those titles?
It's all for show. And I mean, the WWE might be telling them to do that. So it's an angle.
They're not under contract to WWE either. They're under contract to Ring of Honor.
I know. But, eventually they're going, they've been talking about the two WEs or
something like, no, the man with 3 H's.
The man with 3 H's and McMahon.
Yeah, McMahon.
McMahon.
Joker's, I am not going to do a Brother Love impression. You can forget it. I'm not doing it.
You should paint your face red and...
I'm not doing it.
I love you.
Yeah. All right, Best in the World says it should be a Ring of Honor versus TNA crossover. I don't agree with that. But one thing I definitely don't agree with is I watched a video of something that happened on Impact Wrestling while I was, in fact, waiting here at Acadiana Open Channel, waiting to do the show. It was a video of Jeremy Borash apparently joining the Impact Wrestling commentary team, and apparently now they want Josh Matthews to sell himself as a heel commentator. I said this when they did this with Michael Cole, and I'm going to say this right now with Josh Matthews. No. Your commentators should not be the main focus of a storyline. The people that go in the ring and bust their butts learning to do all of the spots that they're doing, those are the people that should be the focus of storylines in a wrestling promotion. Commentators are meant to do just that. Commentate. Be a play-by-play guy. Do color commentary. Describe the action in the ring. Not be a part of a storyline. I disagreed with it when they did it with Michael Cole, and I'm going to disagree with it now, but they're doing it with Josh Matthews and Jeremy Borash. Josh Matthews couldn't sell a book to a blind man. How the hell is he supposed to be a heel commentator? Give me a freaking break, Impact Wrestling. Give me a break, Anthem Sports Entertainment. You let the Hardy Boys go. You let Drew Galloway go. Two of your big moneymakers in your promotion. You screwed up. And now you want Josh Matthews to be a heel commentator? Give me a break. It didn't work in WWE. What makes you think it's going to work with your company? It's not going to work. That's my final say on it. I had to rant on it because I thought, me being a commentator myself.
Gotta get it out.
Yeah, I had to get it out because I thought it was utterly ridiculous what I saw. Utter ridiculousness.
Tell me how you really feel, Billy.
That's what everybody else is saying. Best in the World is saying Josh Matthews is garbage. I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. And if Josh Matthews somehow sees this and has a problem with what I have to say, hey, I'm not a hard man to find. So, he also says it won't be watched. No new chats and the
Marks.
yeah. Best in the World says I want Galloway to return to WWE, but it won't happen. And Mark Smith says Impact is garbage anyway, and I'm not doing a Jim Cornette impression. Joker's Nightmare says I'm doing a Jim Cornette. Well, maybe, but like I said, it was something that I adamantly disagree with, and I had to say it because when I saw it, it just incensed me. And leaving a comment on the YouTube video to me would not do it any justice. I had to come on here and say it. I had to verbally express my opinion on it because words on a YouTube comment would not really sink into TNA or Anthem Sports Entertainment whatsoever. But anyway, that's it for me. We got a lot to talk about when it pertains to Fastlane. So
let it out, Billy.
I did. That's why I said enough for me. We still need the extension cable because the battery is about to drop out. But very interesting that they bring up Jim Ross. I don't know if you heard the news, but since Josh Matthews is garbage anyway, he's getting replaced by Jim Ross. They signed Jim Ross to a contract, and he's already worked some. I think they did some recent TNA tapings.
Well, maybe it will be Ross and Matthews.
Well, not Ross and Matthews. No. I don't want to hear that.
Well, if he's the heel commentator, then
Michael Cole couldn't sell a heel commentary. What makes you think Josh Matthews can sell it?
We'll see. It's Impact
Everybody's
Wrestling.
telling me to shoot. Yeah, I already did.
Shoot, Dad.
But anyway, over at Fastlane, Nick, one of my main gripes about Fastlane this Sunday is how predictable the whole show was.
Oh, very predictable. A typical Raw show.
Yeah, that's pretty much for those of you who don't know, I do Google Hangouts for pay-per-views and do live reactions to it, and that's what a lot of people were saying. Especially a good friend of mine, Devontae Agerson. He said, well, how are you guys enjoying this Monday Night Raw episode? So, and Best in the World says, Matthews just now. But start putting in your thoughts about...
But God.
People referring me to Jim Ross, I take that as a compliment because of the fact that he's an amazing commentator. He's in the Hall of Fame. And I kind of base my style a little bit on what Jim Ross had done in his career. So to be referred to or compared to Jim Ross, I view that as a compliment. So, Best in the World wants me and Jim Ross's comments. They're doing. If you guys can only see what I'm seeing right now in the chat room on YouTube, oh my God, oh man, YouTube is more active than Twitch right now. We got 6 viewers on Twitch, but nobody in the chat room right now. But anyway, let's start to when JR tried to be a heel. Yeah, I remember that. That's when he first came back when he had the next attack of Bane's palsy in his face. And they were trying to pair him up with Dr. Death Steve Williams as that dropped. And I think they nipped that in the bud as fast as they tried to get it started.
Is it nip it in the bud or nip it in the butt?
It could be either or.
Know.
When it comes to Josh Matthews, it's bud.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go down let's do the rundown of Fastlane.
Well, the kickoff was unannounced tag match from the cruiserweights. Rich Swann returned, and Akira Tozawa, Brian Kendrick, and Noam Dar with Alicia Fox.
Again, why are they trying to make her relevant?
I'm not necessarily sure, but I think I recall us picking the heels in this last week because it had been announced, I think, like by the Thursday. But yeah, it was a decent match, I guess. It got the crowd warmed up a little bit.
I love Akira Tozawa. The guy is just so unbelievably talented with what he does in the ring. I think they just need to work on his English commentary for his promos just a bit.
Well, the yeah, or whatever.
But it seems to be getting over on the crowd because the crowd goes along with it.
Well, it's kind of like yes.
Yeah, in a sense. Give Best of the World says they ruined Cesaro and Zayn on Raw. We'll talk about that later. I gotta say I didn't see the kickoff match, to be honest. I just watched it on YouTube for like the 2 minutes.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. But a Phoenix Splash on Noam Dar. Ultimately, Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa got the win. The baby faces kind of cheered everybody up and got them ready for the show.
Yep.
Which Noam Dar is I think 0-10 on Raw at Raw. So I mean, are they kind of burying him, or I mean, is it just good for him to get airtime and he's just kind of a jobber?
Well, you're on Monday Night Raw. You're on what's considered the flagship show of WWE, but as of late, it hasn't really been a flagship show. But you're still getting airtime. You're still getting you're still getting your face out there. People are still viewing you. It's still a good thing.
Surely. But the opening match of Fastlane was Sami Zayn against Samoa Joe. I think everybody knew it was going to be a squash.
Considering the push that Joe's been on ever since he made his main roster debut.
Surely. And then, I mean, it mostly was. Sami Zayn did get some, moves in, just kind of fighting back. But, but they really don't necessarily have anything for Samoa Joe right now for WrestleMania, it seems, though.
Exactly. And that's one of the questions I asked on YouTube earlier this week, is what is Samoa Joe going to be doing at WrestleMania? And so far in the comments section of the video, nobody has any ideas.
Well, I mean, one thing they could possibly do, because they've worked together and they have some chemistry, is have Finn Balor return, because apparently he was working NXT events. I mean, that's always a possibility. Get another star on the card if he's ready to go. Best
in the World says Noam Dar is 1-9. He beat Cedric Alexander before, I believe. I think so. I think so.
I thought I remember seeing something he was 0-for.
Yeah.
But either way, Samoa Joe got him with, what is it, Kamina Clutch?
Conquista Clutch.
Conquista Clutch.
It's a rear naked choke.
But Sami Zayn, I guess, passed out, and the ref called for the bell. Anyways, tag team titles on the line. Enzo and Cass were challenging against Gallows and Anderson.
I just knew that they weren't going to put the titles on Enzo and Cass.
Which doesn't it seem like every Enzo and Cass match is basically Enzo getting beat up and then getting a hot tag to Cass and him just doing his 5 moves of doom. I mean, that's pretty much every Enzo and Cass match.
In a nutshell.
With different finishes, of course.
Yeah, of course.
The finish of this one was kind of the controversial thing. Apparently, Enzo was getting pinned and had his foot on the rope.
So that would explain why they did the rematch on Monday Night Raw and why that one was even worse than Fastlane.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Let's see. What else did we have? So Gallows and Anderson retain. Then Nia Jax and Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks was able to actually get a win with the roll-up after Nia Jax kind of dominated and did show some cockiness, it seemed.
And a lot of people are saying that finish was botched for the reason being that they felt that Sasha Banks was supposed to be closer to the ropes and actually do a dirty pin on Nia Jax, because a lot of people are saying for Nia Jax to be as strong as she is, well, she wasn't able to kick out of a roll-up. They felt that it wasn't believable.
Surely, and what we had been saying is that we're thinking it's going to be a fatal four-way with including Nia Jax, but Nia Jax wasn't even hardly mentioned on Raw. So are they kind of working her out of the storyline to make it a triple threat, or is it going to still be a fatal four-way? Maybe she was injured from the night before, had to take a week off.
I think it all depends on what we see on Monday Night Raw this week when it pertains to that.
Surely.
Once on to Eliminator 001 and the
Well, she pretty much got buried by Sasha Banks. You know, I mean, she lost to Sasha. I mean, and it was, granted, it was a roll-up, so it was a fluke kind of thing, you know, so.
Yep. Best in the world saying that come WrestleMania, we're going to see the Club versus Sheamus and Cesaro versus Enzo and Cass. I have to agree.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that as well. And I have, like, a WrestleMania card already made out with, let's see, 14 matches on it already. So, I mean, the card's pretty much made for WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania,
we'll get to
biggest show of the year.
Here in a second. Let's see. So, Sasha Banks got the win. Then, oh my God, this segment was horrible. Jinder Mahal and Rusev. They wanted singles matches, and so they ended up fighting each other, which nobody cares about.
First off, how stupid was Rusev's haircut?
Yeah, the haircut. Handsome Rusev, who's apparently taking a month off now.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess he's not going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Let's see. What ended up happening? Cesaro and Sheamus came out just because they didn't have anything else to do with Fastlane. And Royds Mahal.
Oh, Mark is in the Twitch chat room.
Sweet. What up, Mark? Royds Mahal versus Cesaro. Which, golly, Jinder Mahal got ripped right quick.
He gets more and more veiny every time I see him.
He gets more veiny every week.
It's like he can't find enough spots on his body to inject himself with steroids.
With the roids, so he's like making new veins and like pinching himself and stuff.
Oh, man.
But Cesaro ended up winning.
Jinder Mahal?
Yeah, and then Rusev against Big Show. Big Show ended up getting a win. So.
Best in the world says if he was a ginger, he'd be called Ginger Mahal. My apologies to anybody out there who's ginger for that. I'm sorry.
Why not? I'd say probably in one of the matches of the night, Jack Gallagher or whatever,
Gallagher
against Neville. It delivered as far as a really good cruiserweight match.
When you have two amazing talents, like Neville and Gallagher, and you put them together and you tell them to work an amazing match, they will deliver every time. And Gallagher and Neville delivered. But with what happened on Monday Night Raw with Neville and Austin Aries, it's going to be Aries and Neville at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Which I've been saying for like 2 months. So.
Yeah.
And that's not a surprise, and I'd say that's your biggest two names in the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
But
we're not going to discredit Jack Gallagher or T.J. Perkins. Or
Jack Gallagher, how about them headbutts? Are they brutal or what?
I know, and that's one of the reasons why I like watching him is to see when he's going to use that headbutt next. And I've never seen him do a jumping headbutt to somebody.
And you hear it too. Like,
I know, that's...
And he's like knocked out on himself almost even, and it's just like, dang, them some hard headbutts.
Exactly, and that's why I like seeing that spot, because unlike some people who do headbutts in wrestling today, he actually sells the fact that he hit a headbutt and it hurt him too.
Definitely. So Neville retains. It's going to be him against Aries at WrestleMania. New Day comes out with the popsicle ice cream. They want to get the fans behind it. Big E's acting crazy. Okay. They're hosting WrestleMania.
Well, okay. I look at it like this. They were able to whore them out for cereal, and why not ice cream?
Why not the ice cream, too? Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman in a rematch from... Well, yeah, actually, this was the first one. Didn't they end up kind of going at it a little bit? Oh, yeah. We'll get to that Raw in a second.
Mark is... he says, Big Show was ripped and future Cruiserweight Champion Austin Aries, awesome match.
I agree. Let's see, Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman. Actually, a pretty good match.
Joker's Nightmare TV, you can suck my chode. Ellsworth versus Goldberg versus A-Double versus Neville. Screw off.
New Gay sucks.
Sheamus got the hardest head with headbutts. I don't know if it can say that anymore, Mark. I think Jack Gallagher can now qualify for that.
And Sheamus doesn't do the headbutts as much anymore. Let's see. So Reigns, Strowman, good match. They kind of felt each other out, but Braun Strowman eventually, dominated. But he kind of tweaked his knee, I guess, and that kind of hampered him.
When did he tweak his knee?
I think when he went and tried to kick over the rope. And then he went over the top and fell. I mean, it might have been kayfabe, but that was one of the things. But ultimately, they got him through the table, power slam. Roman Reigns got him through the table.
Yeah.
With a spear, Superman punch, all the typical Roman Reigns comeback stuff. Ended up winning, burying Strowman to an extent.
Mark says, New Day makes Boo Day. Oh.
New Day makes me Boo Day, yep. So Roman Reigns gets the win, and we'll get into kind of his big story on what happened on Raw after these next two matches. So the women's title, Charlotte putting up her undefeated pay-per-view streak against Bayley and her women's title.
We also need to remind everybody that the phone lines are open.
Yes.
Yes, 337-366-8951, and be sure you hit the number 2 after you dial.
2.
Because it says so at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I got to say, I really enjoyed the women's championship match with Bayley and Charlotte. Even though it missed what everybody's saying is controversy with Sasha Banks being out there, but we all expected her to be out there in the first place because they were setting up everything for WrestleMania. Everything they've done up until now, basically on Fastlane as
There's Corey.
There's Corey. So let's go ahead and talk to Corey. Corey, what's up?
How you doing? How you doing?
Well, we're doing as good as we can be, Corey, but how about Goldberg as the Universal Champion and the way he beat Kevin Owens?
What I told y'all, didn't I call it?
Goldberg.
I think almost everybody called it out there, Corey. I think almost everybody saw that coming.
I think he's going to keep it, though.
Against Braun? You know what?
I don't know.
That's hard to say right now.
It's too early to call.
Yeah, it really is because both Lesnar and Goldberg are on part-time status with WWE. God, well, if I'm not repeating that, You can beg me, but I'm not repeating that. Even he says, even Nick sees it and knows that we're not gonna repeat that.
I got some good news for both of y'all.
What you got?
For all my fans that's been supporting my music, we got a mixtape on the way.
Really?
It's going on the radio.
Really?
They still make mixtapes?
Mark!
I do it now.
You want to read what he said?
Mark said Rick Rude should have been an adult star with the body and mustache. Sounds like Mark has a man crush. Well, I mean, like Rick Rude, he.
Hey, tell Mark I said, tell Mark I dislike him. I dislike him. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, what's happening tonight? I have no idea.
Sometimes no more. How you been, Nick?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself, Corey?
Oh, lovely.
Fantastic, man. What'd you think of Fastlane?
I read it. Y'all want me to give y'all a grade on it?
Yeah, like, I don't know, either A, B, C, D, F, or 1 through 5, or...
Let me see.
Well, usually when I do reviews on my YouTube channel, Corey, I grade them on a on a scale of 0 to 5.
I ain't gonna give it an A+. I'm gonna give it a B+.
A B+, that's being friendly even.
Yeah, a bit generous in my opinion.
What was your grade, Billy?
I'm gonna give it a B+.
If I have to score it on the traditional scale that I did it wasn't a bad show, But
No,
but on the same token, it wasn't a spectacular show.
It
So
wasn't exciting. And
so I'm going to split the difference and go right up the middle and say 3 out of 5.
Yeah, C.
So yeah, that's pretty much a basic score.
A C.
now WrestleMania gonna be good.
Yeah, and we were actually gonna. I pretty much got 14 matches already written out, and are pretty much gonna be going down. So the card's pretty much already made for WrestleMania, minus a tweak here or there.
Yeah, and we got quite the little discussion going on in the YouTube chat room about Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. The Best in the World says Brock is going to beat Goldberg, believe that, but then Brock will come back though. His YouTube name is Best in the World. He's saying Brock is going to beat Goldberg, believe that, but then Brock will come back though. Only reason Brock is a part-timer is because he doesn't have the title. Joker's Nightmare TV said, but he was a part-timer with the belt. Yeah, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But if Goldberg retains, what's the point? I'm not sure. Because like I said, both Lesnar and Goldberg are on part-time status. So I really don't know. We really don't have an answer to that. He
I
says,
don't either. I can't give you no answer to that.
yeah, Joker's Nightmare TV said Goldberg is probably on the way out, probably, because he's up there in age. But Lesnar is no spring chicken either.
Very good.
50.
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
Really?
Yeah.
And he still got it.
The only thing he's done in his matches as of late, Corey, is a spear and a jackhammer. That's it.
And he's only taken 2 bumps.
Yeah.
So
like,
far,
yeah.
if we were to say, if you were
He
to
took a
ask
choke
us,
slam and an F5.
I
And he
know.
was hurting after that F5.
Oh, I saw that.
yeah. So if you were to ask us right now, do we think Goldberg still has it? In my personal opinion, no.
No, I don't think he have it either.
Which, I don't know, I did think Raw was pretty decent on Monday as far as somewhat of a better Raw than average.
than
There's a low
Fastlane.
expectation there.
Better than Fastlane.
Better than Fastlane, and that it was starting to build the WrestleMania card, which
Yeah.
is more exciting.
Yeah, with Jericho and Owens for sure.
Jericho and Owens pretty much started the show off and got it going good. They had a couple good matches, and we really just built the WrestleMania card, as we said.
Yeah.
You can pick up.
Goldberg is 51 years old, according to DeLone Wolf. He says the only reason Brock is a part-timer is because of his age and drawing power. Well, Goldberg could fit in that exact same category. Why can't I talk tonight? I should be able to talk tonight. We're on a podcast on YouTube and AOC.
You got a bad speech problem.
Best in the World also says, I just hope Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 33 is an actual match. I have to agree.
How old is Brock Lesnar?
Anybody in the chat room can answer that?
39.
39?
And Goldberg is 51?
And Goldberg is 50. He started wrestling in 1997, Corey, in WCW.
I was watching him back then.
20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So we did have a Raw in Chicago. Usually those are pretty good. And there's a lot of CM Punk chants. Obviously Stephanie made her little jab to CM Punk as usual. They had
Second
2
one in a
title
row.
matches.
Second one in a row that she's done that.
We did see Austin Aries finally do some physical action on the main roster, and kind of set up his feud
Yeah.
with Neville.
I got one comment about that.
Yeah, what you got?
I'm glad Neville got punched.
It's about time the king of the cruiserweights.
I can't stand Neville.
Mark Smith,
Well, he's doing
we're
a
all
good job
old.
then.
Mark Smith, we're all old. We're all old. Don't feel bad, dude.
Yeah, we all watched 20 years ago. It's all good.
I remember that.
Austin Aries would go on to 205 Live to explain his actions, and he would state that, if you want to make an impact, you want to leave an impression on someone, you find the toughest, the biggest guy in the yard, and on 205 Live, that was Neville. You go up to him and you punch him right in the mouth, and that's what Austin Aries
That's
did.
exactly what he did, too.
Surely. Also, with the tag team title match on Raw, I guess they kind of set it up with Cesaro and Sheamus.
That was just, when I saw that, I was just
Oh,
cringing.
boy.
And not only that, but predictable. because of the fact that I saw it coming a mile away.
Well, if they're standing ringside,
Yeah.
it's like they already did that same thing.
Yeah, with Cass and Enzo.
Right. So, and now they have a #1 contender match next week between Cesaro and Sheamus and Enzo and Cass for the #1 contender tag team title.
What's up to Daniel Price in the YouTube chat room? He says it'll be a semi-squash. Lesnar will win, but they will have to fill at least 10 minutes. Goldberg will slip up, then Bork does suplex, rinse, repeat. Oh, man. And Mark says, at least The Rock still loves the business and comes back. How much money he makes to best in the world. Daniel says, Lesnar will drop the belt to Strowman or Reigns. So I got to disagree about Strowman because I don't think he's ready to be in the main event spotlight right now. But Reigns, I don't think he needs it. I don't think Reigns needs a Universal Championship right now.
Not right now. Not right now. If somebody needed right now, you know who I would see with it?
Who would that be?
I don't know if y'all gonna like this, but I'd rather see the Undertaker win.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying that his match with Roman Reigns, which, quick spoilers, Undertaker was on Raw and had a face-to-face confrontation with not just Strowman, but Roman Reigns, and would end up chokeslamming Roman Reigns to finish off Raw.
Well, it's as if Strowman was showing the Undertaker respect and getting out of the ring.
And not only that, but the fans. How did you like the fact that Strowman was actually trying to play face? Go ahead, Corey.
Y'all seen Big Strowman reign out of there?
Fans didn't like that, did they, Corey?
No, they didn't like that.
But they did like it when he was
This is
dissing
my
Roman
yard
Reigns.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Strowman working as a face for one promo. How did you like that? Strowman as a face.
All right. People don't like Roman Reigns that much. Which I think Roman Reigns will definitely be the heel in the Undertaker-Reigns feud.
Oh, without a doubt. Even though Roman Reigns isn't technically heel. Best in the World says, here's a question. Can Finn Balor beat Brock and he gets his rematch? Yeah, that's another good point because Finn Balor has never had his contractual rematch for the Universal Championship. That is a very good point. So will they cash in on that at WrestleMania? Could they do that?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to get inserted in the Brock Lesnar and Goldberg feud.
And Joker's Nightmare TV said, how could they make it believable?
If I see Finn Balor doing anything at WrestleMania, I see him possibly going against Samoa Joe or maybe even being in the Battle Royal.
Mark says Reigns needs to retire Undertaker, make him a great heel. Doing that would definitely accomplish that.
Sure.
I mean, he's already got a lot of heat for some odd reason.
It'd be his yard.
Yeah.
And it seems as though we're probably going to get Seth Rollins and Triple H. They've been kind of building it the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is coming back?
Well, storyline-wise, he says he's going to be at WrestleMania to call out Triple H. Triple H for the second week in a row cut the exact same promo, almost word for word. And basically just said the exact same thing he said last week, that Seth Rollins has been warned.
Triple H told him though,
Daniel,
you better not come to WrestleMania.
I should listen to the doctors. If he shows up, that'll be the last thing he does in the ring.
Oh, but you heard what Seth Rollins told Triple H, I'm going to be there.
Yep. So right now, as far as the Raw roster, these are the WrestleMania matches that I got. Obviously, there's a Universal title with Goldberg defending against Brock Lesnar. U.S. title is going to be Jericho defending against Kevin Owens. Right now, the Raw's women's title is going to be Bayley against Charlotte and Sasha Banks, which they have a number. It's a triple threat. Which I don't know if Nia Jax is going to be involved or not.
well, technically right now she's not even in part of the storyline.
At least this past week, she was kind of written out.
I'm not right now.
Seth Rollins against Triple H. Maybe Seth Rollins comes out and calls him out and it's not an official match kind of thing.
Yeah.
Neville against Austin Aries defending the Cruiserweight title. The Raw tag team titles, like y'all said earlier, I think it's going to be triple threat with Gallows and Anderson, Enzo and Cass, Cesaro and Sheamus. Also, we'll have The Undertaker and Roman Reigns. And right now, I think that is, and obviously the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but that's all the Raw matches I have. So
You need to get them bargain belts, man.
That's a lot of belts, huh?
Yeah. Welcome back to the Twitch chat room, Ifanga80. How you doing?
Well, there's still 4 more belts. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 title matches at WrestleMania.
Oh, this year?
Well, that happens when you have 2 separate brands that have both their own championships.
Right.
I'm talking
And
about
a 6-hour show.
6 hours?
Pretty much. Well, yeah, last year it pretty much went to, started at 4 o'clock. And it went to 10:30.
Yeah. Daniel Price says the Rollins knee is a semi-work. WCW used Jim Andrews and Angles all the time to try to sell it. The trip to Andrews was precautionary, yes, but Rollins will be there.
What time does it start this year?
Probably 4 o'clock, like it did last year.
The pre-show starts at 4 o'clock, but
Yeah.
then WrestleMania starts at 6.
Let's
No,
go
but
2 hours.
all right, hold up. Remember last year what they did?
Yes, I remember that painfully.
When they took the pre-show and put it on USA? They're not going to do that this year?
Don't know. Don't
It's
know.
on the internet, you can watch the first 2 hours for free pretty much. So getting into Smackdown, Shane and Daniel Bryan came out kind of pumping the main event of the night, saying the biggest main event of Smackdown ever with AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, which in a lot of people's opinion should have been the main event of WrestleMania.
No.
What do you got, Corey?
You know what? I'm glad Randy Orton going for that belt.
Yep. Corey, we need to go ahead and let you go, man, because I think we've got a couple more people who are waiting to call in to the show. But it was great talking to you, man, and we'll talk to you next week, man, all right?
Next week?
All right, man.
Cool, man. Thanks for calling, Corey. Have a good night, man.
All right, y'all too.
All right, later.
All right, our phone lines are now open if you guys want to call in. We still have some time left before the show is over this week. 337-366-8951 if you guys want to get in and talk to us. Or if you have any questions or comments, you guys can call in as well.
Which, how about Ellsworth calling out John Cena?
How about
Nikki
Ellsworth
Bella?
calling himself the Smack Daddy of Smackdown? How horrible was that?
Yeah, that was pretty great. And Miz and Maurice came out, which Miz had another awesome performance on Talking Smack afterwards.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So, I mean, and he's kind of building a feud between John Cena and Nikki Bella, who are like a tag team now and do the same moves, and it's cute. Kurt Hawkins, he's funny. He calls out Dean Ambrose. Yeah. Who calls out Baron Corbin saying he had no testicles. Okay. Which Baron Corbin pretty much went off on him backstage and crushed Dean Ambrose with a forklift.
Which leads into this question by Best in the World in the YouTube chat room. He's asked, who do we think will have the IC title coming out of WrestleMania?
Corbin.
You think Corbin?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
They got to have some people retained because there's going to be a lot of title changes. Out of 9 title matches, you almost think there's going to be at least 4 or 5 title changes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's possible that Dean Ambrose retains, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, and more than any other pay-per-view, WrestleMania, they tend to do the endings or finishes or people win that are against the Vegas odds.
Yeah.
So, and because a lot of people are betting on WrestleMania matches.
Daniel Price says, no, they're going to let Corbin go over botches and all.
Prime example was, who was it? Woo Woo Woo, Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental title last year.
Yeah.
They
Nobody
did that
saw
because
that
of Vegas because he was the lowest odds. So they cashed in on that. Anyways.
Daniel, I'm not going to read that. Daniel, I'm not going to read that. We can't say that on the air.
Corbin has testicles. They're just constricted by the skinny jeans. Someone told me Corbin in the days off the WrestleMania sign. I was like, you wish. Okay. Yeah, awesome. How about the women's title? It's going to be Alexa Bliss defending against any available SmackDown woman.
My question is, and I said this on YouTube just yesterday, what kind of match is this going to be? Is it going to be like a battle royal, a ladder match, or
no? It's going to be like the WrestleMania match in New Orleans with the women, and just had like all the women on the roster, first one to get a pin.
Like a championship scramble almost?
I guess, yeah. A bunch of people in the ring, whoever gets a pin first. Which I'm thinking, are they going to bring anybody up, maybe from NXT?
That's what I'm thinking, because it did get announced on this week's NXT that at TakeOver Orlando, Emma Moon will be getting a shot at the women's title against Asuka.
And what if she drops it?
And then we see Asuka come up.
Your girl pretty much comes up and whoops everybody's tail on the SmackDown roster.
And wins the women's championship just like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be pretty awesome.
Plus, it would be believable because she really does kick ass.
I agree. So that will be exciting to see.
Best of all says we might see Tamina Snuka return. That's another name I heard come up, Tamina Snuka.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Tamina Snuka.
Oh, you got a point.
You know, so how about the AJ Styles and Randy Orton main event? Was it the best SmackDown main event ever?
It's very hard to say because it really was good.
It really was. I could see it as a WrestleMania match, definitely.
Yeah, it had some amazing spots, especially when AJ Styles was going for the phenomenal forearm with the springboard. Orton was going to counter with the RKO, and Styles just stopped in mid-move and dropped down off the springboard to the ring apron.
Right.
That was an amazing spot.
Which I would definitely like AJ Styles to get re-involved in the Orton and Wyatt feud after WrestleMania. Because you know Shane's not going to wrestle consecutive pay-per-views.
Daniel Price says more than likely Asuka's getting called up. She's doing WWE live house shows. I did not know that. So as far as the WWE SmackDown Live roster... Well, hold on. One thing we need to mention is this confrontation with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon.
You're right. After the show, a WWE exclusive, a network exclusive.
Now, do you think this is going to lead into anything for WrestleMania between these two?
Of course. And it's been rumored for months that we are, and it's pretty much confirmed now that we're going to, well, it's not official, but it is confirmed it's going to be AJ Styles against Shane McMahon. Which is like an injustice to AJ Styles in the biggest way possible, you know?
Yeah.
He's the reason why SmackDown is the top show right now.
Yeah.
You know, or one of the main ones. You know, Miz, you got to give Miz some credit. And John Cena.
But now you got to work him against
Orton and Wyatt.
You got to work him against Shane McMahon of all people, really?
Yeah, really. Well, I mean,
in what sense? Why does that? Why would that make any sense to WWE creative to put an amazingly talented person like AJ Styles? Now, we're not saying Shane McMahon's bad.
Right.
But
there'll be some stunts, you know.
Yeah, but that's pretty much Shane McMahon is just a spot monkey. That's all he is.
So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens with that. And of course, we got a month till WrestleMania, so we'll be talking about the card every week.
Yeah, Daniel Price says good match, but they're trying to insinuate Orton was not going to take a shot. Was stupid. They have done the build to Shane and AJ horribly. I have to agree.
Yep. So this is what we got: WWE title, Bray Wyatt defending against Randy Orton, AJ Styles against Shane O'Mac. In the Intercontinental title matches, Dean Ambrose defending against Baron Corbin. SmackDown tag, I'm thinking American Alpha against the Usos, who weren't on SmackDown Live this week. The SmackDown Women is Alexa Bliss against the SmackDown Women's roster. And also going to be a big match, John Cena and Nikki Bella against Miz and Maurice.
Mark, I'm not going to confirm nor deny that statement. If you read that, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to punch you if you read it.
You want me to read it?
No.
Are your punches hard?
No.
No. Well, I wouldn't want you to hurt yourself there, buddy. I won't read it.
I mean, my arm's already bad enough, so.
I was Shinsuke versus Styles WrestleMania. Ooh,
that would be an awesome match.
I like that one.
Because I think Styles and Shinsuke have worked some matches in New Japan before.
Or what if, like, I don't know, that could give possibly Samoa Joe something to do, or maybe Braun Strowman even.
Yep.
Finn Balor, Nakamura.
Well, with 2 minutes left in the show, I want everybody in the chat room to put their answer to this question right now. Who won this week, Raw or SmackDown? And I want to hear your answers really quickly. And Nick, in your opinion, who won this week, Raw or SmackDown?
Raw was better than usual, but you know it's WrestleMania season. They're both going really good, but for me, SmackDown Live is just a way better show. Every week, and this week included.
Yeah. I did watch a little bit of NXT. If you remember a couple of weeks ago.
Nakamura returns.
Yeah,
right?
Against TJ Perkins, it was a good match. They also showed the injury. Remember we talked about the injury to Billie Kay? About how she hurt her neck in a match against Ember Moon. I think it was all just to work, because if it was a legit injury, then they wouldn't have showed it on TV.
Right.
So, and everything was shown on TV. With 1 minute left in the show, I'm going to say SmackDown won, with NXT getting a very honorable mention, in my personal opinion. As long as Tom Phillips is doing commentary, I'm going to cringe. But at least he's not as bad as Josh Matthews, and I already had my say about that one. But anyway, a lot of people are saying SmackDown. So with that being said, guys and gals, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode this week. Mark, we know you're there in the chat room, man. We miss you, buddy, and we want you to come back very soon, man.
Yes, sir.
So be sure you guys tune in every Thursday night right here on Acadiana Open Channel at 9 o'clock Central Time, also on YouTube and Twitch.tv. With that being said, he's Nick Nade Fuquay, and I am your friendly neighborhood wrestle gamer, and we will see you next week right here on Sports Entertainment Tonight. Bye, guys!